October 8th, 1:24 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 6. Okay. So where exactly does this leave us, Apollo? Well, the Drew Misham who was killed wasn't Drew Misham the forger, basically. Huh. Well, then who was he? Well, he was actually doing her nails. So, you really made those forgeries, huh? This is going to be a fun time. Yes, for Father. I know it was wrong. Sorry. Could you tell us how it happened? My father was a painter. I loved painting ever since I was a child. One day, Father saw it in me. He saw that I had the talent. The talent for making forgeries? How should I say it? It was not only paintings I made. Given the materials, I could make anything. Anything? Father was so proud, and I so happy. But, in the end, I was making those. Forgeries. I've never had a good constitution, nor personality. I know very little of the world outside my door. Now, because of me, Father is... Do you know about this red envelope? I remember that envelope. It was some time ago. So you were already, creating your works back then? I started when I was only 12 years old. So the one who figured out the stamp was poisoned, that was... Mr. Justice, it's time. To the courtroom, please. Right, out of time. Wait, Vera, just one more thing, please. Those 3 paintings in the studio. I painted those as part of my work. Right. See, we checked them out, and we saw what was underneath. We saw the rough sketches underneath the 3 finished paintings. I see. Mr. Justice. Yes? Father, he knew of you. Of both of you. Your late father? He was watching, gathering information. All about the Wright & Co. law offices. But lately, we're not doing just law. Yes, you do tricks, gags to amuse, and play piano. Well, they're not really gags. Yet when Father heard you had resumed the legal business, how pleased he was. Who is Mr. Misham? How am I supposed to know? What if he was Daddy's daddy? Wait, what? What if he was Daddy's daddy? You mean like Phoenix Wright's dad? Judging from the relative ages involved, I'd say it's highly unlikely. Things are already confusing enough with all these daddies running around. So many daddies. Stop having so many daddies, game. We know that the victim's daughter Vera was the forger. What does this mean for the case? Guess we're about to find out. October 8th, 1:36 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 3. Alright, here we go. Court is now back in session. Vera seems pretty tense. She's practically chewing her fingernails clean off. Perhaps you could begin by telling us how it all worked. How did you set up this Drew Misham forger persona? There's that stare again. She's drilling more holes into his head. I know it's hard for you, but hey, he's a handsome guy. What's hard? Very well, miss, if you would. Did you really make those detestable forgeries? Perhaps you'd rather answer my question. Were you the one who painted that painting? The remarkably similar one? Yes. I painted it, yes. Father praised me quite highly for it. So, she was the one who made the forgeries. Yet she did not wish to reveal the truth of their operation, so the victim was a stand-in, a decoy. To the world at large, he was the forger, not her. It does make sense. I've done a bad thing. I haven't I? Regardless, we need a little more information about, for instance, this. You have seen this before, yeah? Sorry. Something stuck to my lip. Yes, it was in the desk drawer. Very well, you may proceed with your testimony. Tell us everything you know about this envelope. Okay. Let's learn about the envelope. Alright, here we go. The red envelope. I created things and Father sold them. This envelope came after my first work. That was other than a painting. Father handled the deal, all of it. I received the stamp that was in that envelope. It was after that job that we moved to the current studio. Okay. Noted, I suppose. There certainly was much of great interest in your testimony. Not that the witness realizes it. Very well, please begin the cross-examination. Right, okay. I need more information about this forger. This Drew Misham. This Drew Misham. Alright. Created things and sold them, and Father sold them. Press! So, these things you were making, you mean paintings identical to other paintings, right? The closer they were, the happier Father was. I was happy too. Still, you're quite young now. When did you begin this work? My first painting sold when I was 12. Your Honor, she had no idea what she was doing was illegal. Easy there, little attorney. You're not here to defend her for the crime of forgery. True. Please, tell us more about this envelope. This envelope that may very well have killed your father. All right. Envelope came after my first work. That was other than a painting. That was other than a painting, mind you. By other than a painting, you mean you'd only done paintings up to that point. Yes, but Father had a realization. He noticed my talent extended to making things other than paintings. For instance? For instance, a letter someone had written, or a fingerprint left upon a cup, or a signature on a document, a seal upon a letter. None of this makes her sound very innocent at all. And the 100,000 promised in this letter was the start. The beginning of a new industry for Drew Misham. A new industry? The creation of items to be used in criminal proceedings. Forging evidence, in other words. Uh-oh. And this is why Phoenix is so excited about this, because clearly this has to do with his case, why he got in trouble back in the day. Anyway, press. Or I shouldn't say that Phoenix got in trouble, but he quit being an attorney or whatever. But anyway, so you didn't know how the things you were making were being used. I enjoy painting very much. I think I understand. The Fraulein has lived in an unusual little world. Can you tell us what happened to the papers that were in this envelope? Father signed them and sent them back, I believe. Did he follow the instructions? Send in the enclosed envelope with the enclosed stamp. This is a rather important matter. Give your answer some thought. I received the stamp that was on the envelope. Press it. What do you mean you received it? You received it. Did I do something wrong? You didn't use that stamp because it was dangerous, correct? Deadly poison on the back. Atroquinine. A moment, Evorhen. You can't force an answer upon the witness. Now then, perhaps you would tell me, Fraulein Vera. Why did you receive this stamp? Is something wrong? It was beautiful. Ah, you mean it was one of those commemorative stamps? Yes, I think it was. So she didn't even know it was poisoned. She kept it because she liked the stamp. So you didn't know about the poison? Nope. I guess not. So the trap failed by chance, by mistake, thanks to this commemorative stamp. Quite the close call. Indeed. It was after that job that we moved to a current studio. Okay. You mean you moved to where the current Drew studio is? Yes, we saw very few people there. I began drawing picture books. This single job had tied them to the criminal underworld. I think Mr. Misham wished to reduce their visibility in the world at large. When we had to meet someone for some reason, Father posed as the creator of the work. So that was the real essence of the artist Drew Misham. You did the work, and he supplied the face. So, you really didn't know anything, did you? You had no idea how much danger you were in? Apparently not. About this commemorative stamp. Could you tell us more about it? It was very pretty, and more than that. Yes? It was a picture of people I liked at the time. This is something new. A picture of people you liked at the time? Are they magicians? Apparently we've got some cross-examination yet ahead of us. If you would be so kind as to continue your testimony, Fraulein. I guess that's a yes. Alright. Alright, the stamp was a picture of my favorite magicians, so I kept it. There you go. Magicians? I love mysterious things. I always have. Even though she fainted when she saw Mr. Hat. You're confusing mysterious with freaky. Father took me when I was very young. It was a great magic show. I loved it so much. See? See? Isn't magic great? Fine, great, yeah, sure. No need to get all excited. But the magic troupe we saw disbanded soon after. I was quite sad. Did she just say what I think she said? Magic troupe? Now, where have I heard that before? The red envelope came after she'd completed her first job. That makes it a letter from her client, whoever wanted a forgery made. Apollo! We're close. We just have to piece together the parts. A deadly weapon in a red envelope. And the path it took to take Drew Misham's life. Okay, so... why does it have to have the animation every time? I don't know. But okay, the last thing is it's a magician thing. So... does it want us to present... like, hey, is it this magician? Like, that kind of thing? But do we... I don't know if we have anything like that. I don't think I have anything that has him on it. Do I? I feel like I don't have anything that actually has him on it. Current studio. Oops. The red envelope came after she completed her first job. That makes it a letter from her client, whoever wanted a forgery made. Apollo! We're close. We just have to piece together the parts. A deadly weapon in a red envelope, and the path it took to Drew Mission. Okay. Okay. Came after my first work. That was other than a pain. It has to be the one we just freaking unlocked, right? Receive the stamp that was in the envelope. Vera has to be one of the most adorable character designs in Ace Attorney. She is pretty adorable. The first time I saw her, I was like, wow, that was interesting. Like, I wasn't expecting, I guess, a person to look like that. I don't know. The details that they've added into these sprites are really nice. Because originally these were sprites on a DS, right? So, yeah. Anyway, okay, so I'm going to present something here, but I don't know what. I'm thinking it's just going to have to be something that talks about the magicians themselves, so I'm just going to do that. Objection! Those magicians you liked. Was it this bunch? This funky bunch? I wish there was a picture, but... Apollo, they're not a bunch!
I see. Still, I have to wonder. Why include a commemorative stamp like that in a business letter?
Good question. Well, pretty stamps are always better, and you can't beat true memory.
But the whole murder plan was a failure because of it. Ironic, don't you think? Prosecutor Gavin? Prosecutor Gavin? Gramarye.
What's with Gavin?
Might I ask just one question of this witness? In your testimony just now, you stated this was your first work that was other than your painting. Please tell me, what exactly did you make? Oh.
Can I ask why?
No. No. Answer the question now.
Anyway, Apollo Justice is most definitely one of the best looking mainline games. You don't know what I'm going to think of the 3D models, as they're pretty controversial. Like, really, really controversial. I guess I'll have to make that opinion when I play the next game, eventually. But for now, we're still on this one, which looks great. Alright, anyway, answer the question, bitches. Or bitch. Eek! What the hell did she make? Whatever this is going to be a piece of evidence that's going to connect to the previous case back 7 years ago.
Prosecutor Gavin, you're usually not the one whose volume concerns me. Yes, it is unbecoming of me, I apologize. But I must know, please, Miss Misham, tell me.
It was a book. A single page in a book.
A book? Please be more specific.
It was a handwritten book, like a diary. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
No! I don't know!
Ooh. 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 Gavin don't like that. Ooh. Clavier, he don't like it. What's wrong with Prosecutor Gavin? He looks like he just saw a ghost.
Ms. Misham, this book. Was there a picture of a silk hat on the back cover? Yes or no?
How did you know? Hold up. Prosecutor Gavin, the defendant is answering all of your questions. Stop badgering her, you dick.
He's told you nothing, has he? Your soiled, sullied mentor, nothing?
Sullied who?
Phoenix Wright. Who else?
Daddy.
He never told you about the trial 7 years ago? About how he came to lose his attorney's badge? It was a certain piece of evidence that decided his fate, you know. A certain diary. On the back it bore the mark of a silk hat.
What? This I'm not surprised by, because I already was kind of expecting that. The diary specifically I didn't know about, but once we got to the forged evidence thing, we kind of figured it had to do with Phoenix's case from 7 years ago. That part does not surprise me. Phoenix Wright tossed out of the profession by false evidence. And the forger who made that evidence... Is this girl standing right in front of me? Thera, you must tell us. The evidence you made was used in a trial 7 years ago. Who asked Drew Misham you to forge that evidence. For all of our sakes, who was it? Ooh. She probably doesn't even know, honestly. Her dad probably was the one that knew. That's why their dad... Well, I don't know. We'll see. We only met once. Oh? You met the client? Well, who was it? It was... What's going on with Vera? She's staring at Prosecutor Gavin's face again.
Yes, what? Is there something about me?
It looked like you, but it wasn't you. Oh my god. It's his fucking brother. I remember clearly. I remember who gave me the book, the diary. Who was it? Ah! Vera! Oh no. No! The devil. Thump. Don't tell me she passed out. I mean, hopefully she only passed out and she didn't just die right now. Defendant Vera Misham, condition unconscious, examiner's diagnosis, acute atroquinine poisoning. Motherfucker. This ends the recording of the trial for the murder of Drew Misham. Vera Misham was, during the trial, poisoned by an unknown assailant. The dosage was just under the lethal amount, sparing the defendant's life. She is currently in intensive care and is not to be disturbed for any reason. So she didn't even die? Whoever tried to poison her failed miserably. A very simple case, at first glance. Until it finally began to show its true colors. Pretty much expected that. The long road to the truth takes us to the record of another trial. In some ways, that was the starting point of it all. There he is, a much younger douchebag before his hair was so long 7 years ago. And that is where we must go. Yo, baby Trucy, to find the whole truth. To be continued again, y'all. That was a much shorter section, but holy shit. Are we gonna do like a flashback case right now in the middle of a case? Is that what's about to happen, or are we just gonna revisit it? Like I don't know. But I'm excited to find out. Oh my god, yes it is. Who's ready for a motherfucking flashback, y'all? So I'm guessing it must have been Gavin, the other Gavin brother. It must have been the other Gavin brother that did the forging of evidence. Hence why Phoenix wanted to see him get fucked really hard at the beginning of the game. So yeah, that must have been the case. Like he knew the other prosecutor guy kind of forged evidence, and Phoenix didn't like it, so he quit. Like that sounds pretty realistic to me. And then he just had to prove it, which took 7 years apparently. All right. Well, anyway, or he didn't care to prove it till now. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what his reasoning is for now, but I guess we'll find out. Maybe. But right now, we're gonna find out by going back to the trial from 7 years ago. This is exciting. This is something I was kind of expecting at some point in this game, or if not in this game, in a future game. But looks like it's happening now. Here we go, baby. I also might have cats wrestling behind me. Don't mind them. Showdown time. I lost. It's only a game of poker. A game I've played for a long time and only lost twice. Who was the first? The man I killed, of course. Well, it seems I've found the partner I've been looking for all along. Over a game of cards? Why, yes, over a game of cards. That was how we first met, 7 years ago. Alright, younger Phoenix gets my regular voice like Apollo usually does. 7 years earlier, Phoenix writes final trial. Ooh, this is exciting actually. April 19th, 9:27 a.m. District Court, Defendant Nabi number 2.
Whew. Okay. It's been a long time since I felt like such a rookie. Gotta try and relax. Okay, so this is Trucy's dad. Apparently his name is Enigmar, apparently. Ah, good morning, Mr. Enigmar. If it's Trucy's dad, I guess I can just give him normal deep voice guy. It's like, whatever, like, I'm sorry to have sprung this on you so suddenly. I received the files from your previous attorney only yesterday. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure I'm prepared. I understand I am asking the impossible of you. Yes, well, you haven't really told me what happened yet. All we did was play cards. And that was enough. Actually, it wasn't. Trust me. There's Trucy.
Oh, morning, Daddy.
Ah, I'm so glad you came.
You okay, Daddy? They picking on you?
I am fine, as always. This old boy is here to help me, after all.
That's young man to you.
Good morning. That's a cute outfit you have on.
Thanks. My first show's today, after all.
Oh, I'm sure it is. What the heck is she talking about? Oh, old boy. Huh? Me? Look what he started. Here. It seems fate's clock will make me wait a little longer. At least only less than 10 swift minutes remain. To all those who have supported me in my life's work, I give thanks. Farewell. Magnifi Gramarye. So, I'm assuming this is supposed to be like a suicide note or something. But maybe he didn't write it himself. Anyway, what's this?
I don't know. I just got it over there in the hall. They told me to give it to the old boy in the blue suit with the spiky hair. They said it was really important.
What's this? A memo for you or some such?
Not from the looks of it. What is this? Looks like a page from someone's diary.
I'll give it a read later. Okay. I see. So we're going to use this evidence in this trial, and it's going to end up being faked, probably. Who gave it to Trucy, I wonder? Probably other Gavin? Maybe? Anyway. Well, how do you feel about the trial today? We'll get through it, somehow. Incidentally, the prosecutor today is a new guy, I hear. Ah, an easy win then, yes? They're calling him a true thoroughbred in the history of the prosecutor's office. Of course, there's one of those every year. The switching of attorneys just before the trial. I know it is a difficult situation I put you in, but allow me to say one thing, Mr. Wright. Yes? They will not be able to pronounce me guilty today. So, do your best, but do not worry. First time a defendant's ever given me a pep speech. I'll do what I can. I see you do not understand. You see, it will be impossible for them to declare a verdict. Impossible? Yes. Isn't that right, Trucy?
Yep, you bet, Daddy.
My first look at the case was only yesterday, and the information I was given was a tad bit lacking, to be honest. Still, I'll do what I can, for their sake. I believe the curtains will be lifting any time now. I am in your capable hands, Mr. Wright. My client is Shady Enigmar. Wait a second. His name is Shady? Interesting. Very interesting. I don't think we ever heard what his real name was. First of all, Enigmar was new, but his first name being Shady or Shoddy. Shoddy. That's shady enough as its own. Known to the world as Zach Gramarye, a wildly popular magician star of Troupe Gramarye. His mentor, Magnifi Gramarye, was a rare breed of magician. He single-handedly ushered in a golden age of stage magic until he was shot dead. And Zach Gramarye is the suspect. Okay. Pieces are coming together in my brain now. Valent Gramarye is quite the dick indeed, but we'll just leave it at that for now, huh?
I know. If we had Shoddy in the chat, it would be perfect. Anyway, April 19th, 10 a.m., District Court. Courtroom number 7. Got the same dang judges we always got.
Court is now in session for the trial of Shady Enigma.
The defense is ready, Your Honor. And then we have Clavier douchebaggeriness.
Is the prosecution ready? I was just thinking, is this what all the fuss is about?
Bit of a buzzkill, really.
Buzzkill? Is this some new kind of crime?
One of the worst. This is a trial, yeah? Where are the sweaty palms? The pounding hearts? A Gaviner's concerts got 10 times the thrill this gig's got.
Who were you again?
Clavier Gavin. I came to get the party started. Legally, yeah?
Gavin? Defense attorney Christoph Gavin's?
Figures my bro's more famous in this part of town. Clavier Gavin. Lead singer for the mega hit band The Gaviners. You're out of your league, rock boy. I know what you're thinking. You're out of your league, rock boy. Wow. Okay. How did you know? True, my debut single, 13 Years Hard Time for Love, went platinum overnight. But that's just a hobby to me compared to this, yeah? Talkative, aren't you? I like your affected Euro rock accent, by the way. Have I think about this. Have you ever seen Phoenix Wright and Saul Goodman in the same room? Exactly. Dude, Alibium, you are just spitting facts right now. Also, yes, DJ, we are in the past now, and we're playing as Phoenix all of a sudden, which is kind of awesome. I'm just getting warmed up, Air Attorney Wright. At least he called him Attorney Wright, not Air Forehead. Anyway.
Perhaps you would be so kind as to fill us in on this case.
Achtung, baby. Time to call on the opening act. What was his name again? Ah, yes, Detective Gumshoe. Hit it. Yes! Gumshoe's back. I love this guy. He's ridiculous. And you are? Hey, you would have wanted to call me up here, sir. That's not the voice I gave him. What did I give him? I feel like the voice I gave him back in the day was more like just a deep voice. But yeah, our homie, our pal, our Gumshoe. It's our boy. Hey, you would have wanted to call me up here, sir. Sure. Nah, I don't know what voice I want to give him because, like, I already have so many of the same sounding voices. Salary cutting noises. Quack, 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 quack. Hey, you would have wanted to call me up here, sir. Name's Dick Gumshoe. I'm a homicide detective down at the precinct. That works. I like that. Detective Gumshoe, long time no see. Hey, you! Huh? Me? Today's the day, pal. Today I win and you lose. I got confidence in my testimony today, see? What? You normally lack confidence in your testimony? And detective, this is my stage. Can the antics. Huh? All this hey-youing and such. And I could care less about your history together. Ah!
Very well, Detective Gumshoe, if you would. Please tell us about the case at hand.
It happened 6 years back, in a room at the General Hospital. The facts are as simple as they come. Here's the crime scene. I'm just looking at this crime scene and shaking my head. Okay, there's the crime scene. The victim was a patient, sleeping in a hospital bed. The killer comes in, puts a pistol to his forehead, and bam, lights out. Them's the facts. Okay.
Not so long ago, the victim, Magnifique Ramery, was a famous man. He had the entire country under his magical spell, as it were.
Oh, yes, the great magician. He retired years ago, though. Say the name Magnifique to one of my generation, and you'd be lucky to get a blank stare.
Yes, I'm sure the youngsters today know his disciples even better. I dare say Troop Grammary has made quite a name for themselves.
Anyhow, pal, the retired Magnifique's been in the hospital for the last year. What was it? A mild ignorant tutor or something? Doing something to his liver? I think? Yeah.
A malignant tumor, perhaps. Even the judge knew what he was talking about.
A magnificent tutor? What was it?
In other words, he had liver cancer. He had only 3 months left to live, in fact.
Why kill him sooner than he was about to die anyways? Who the fuck was dick enough to do that? Probably to change the will around. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's the case. Because remember, even Valent, in the present day, 7 years later, he mentioned something about the statute of the trick. We had to wait 7 years to be able to use it or whatever, right? It was in the will. I remember that. I do remember that. So anyway, just sorry, fixing my headset real quick.
The facts do seem simple enough, but something's not right. The victim was already climbing a 3-month stairway to heaven. Why not wait for him to knock, knock, knock on heaven's door? Why shoot him? Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door.
I wouldn't have put it quite so lyrically, but it's true. Why make the effort to commit murder when the victim was about to die? Incidentally, the victim had a serious case of diabetes. Diabetes?
In fact, he was about to shoot up with insulin. When he was shot with a pistol, the syringe was found at the crime scene.
Okay, I guess that's what that needle is on the right over there.
Chronic diabetes and cancer. As much as it pains me to say it, the victim was clearly at the end of his life.
Okay. Totally. Or maybe the needle over there on the right wasn't it. That was like a IV needle. Maybe there was a needle I didn't notice in the picture. I'll have to look at it again.
I believe the question before us is clear then. Why did the killer have to shoot this dying man? What reason could he have had? Very well, Detective. Perhaps you can enlighten us as to the circumstances of the shooting.
Yes, sure. Alright, let's hear what we got. The circumstances. Actually, the victim kind of ordered the defendant to do him in, pal. A few days before it happened, the victim sent a letter ordering his own murder. The victim sent a letter ordering his own murder? Oh. Weird. The defendant did what was asked of him, and shot the old man in the forehead. Also, does the clown on the left also have a bullet hole in his forehead? That's a little weird, right? And there's the syringe on the bottom right on the table next to the pistol. I don't know why I didn't notice it before. The bullet was fired from the pistol found on the scene, no doubt about it. And the pistol definitely belonged to the old man, sir. I saw the clown right away when I first looked at the scene, but I didn't notice the bullet hole looking thing in its forehead that matches the guy's bullet hole in his forehead.
What? You're saying the victim ordered his own shooting?
Those are the facts. I have here the letter in question. Okay. We'll have to read that letter in more detail in a moment.
Very unusual indeed. Although, could such a thing as a letter really cause one to pull a trigger? I wonder.
I believe the answer to that question can be found at the end of the letter.
Ah, you cannot refuse, and we both know the reason why. Detective Gumshoe, can you explain this to the court?
Unfortunately, even the defendant won't say a peep about that bitch, sir. One thing bothers me about this. Why didn't he just say 11? Why have him come at 11:05 without some specific reason?
The devil is in the details, Herr Attorney. Well, was there some reason?
As it turns out, there was. Every night for a half hour, starting at 11, the victim, Magnifique Ramery, was given an IV. An IV? Yeah?
There it is in the picture on the side of the bed.
That's the other needle I was pointing out over there on the right. Got it.
At 11 o'clock, a doctor would come to set up the IV. 30 minutes later, he would come back for the empty bag. This happened every night without fail.
So that was the only time they could meet without the chance of an untimely interruption. During his IV.
Very well. Shall we begin? Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you would.
What's this reason he couldn't refuse, I wonder? He could have at least mentioned it to me. Nah, keep it vague, Phoenix. Let's press motherfucking dick like we always have. Press on that dick. Press on it! Here we go.
Just because he got the letter doesn't mean he went through with it. Oh, I disagree. The victim was indeed shot in the forehead after all, just as he had commanded.
It could be a setup, but let's not be in such a hurry. Maybe we should let the witness talk for a change. Thanks, pal.
Fine. I can play it as slow. It's slow as well as fast as I can play. I can play it slow as well as I can play it fast. On with the testimony, Detective Gumshoe.
Okay, that was a pretty useless conversation. Okay. And this letter was sent by the victim? There it is, gotcha! You're all mine this time, pal!
Huh?
I had the handwriting checked out, of course! It's the victim, no mistake, pal! Ah, I see. Ha 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 ha! Score one for the boys! I didn't lose, I was just ascertaining the facts. So why am I so annoyed?
What, a letter ordering your own death? Things aren't what they used to be, I guess.
I'm not sure this was exactly commonplace, even now, Your Honor. So anyway, guess I'll keep going while I'm ahead. Alright. Defendant did what was asked him and shot the old man in the forehead. Okay. How can you be so sure? Hey, you gotta learn to stop relying on people to do your thinking for you, pal. Learn to think for yourself. Get that noggin cranking. You fail to grasp the concept of questioning, detective. First, we got this letter. It says shoot in the forehead loud and clear. I can see that, but I still wouldn't do it. Well, maybe you need to grow yourself a backbone, pal. You fail to grasp the concept of shooting people as bad, detective? We also found the defendant's pistol at the scene.
Traces of gunpowder residue shows that it had been fired recently. Well, Mr. Wright? As far as I can tell from looking at this photo, there seems to be no issue with the prosecution's claim.
The photo. Maybe there's something in there I can use. So they're saying the defendant shot the victim in the forehead. I think there's a hole in the prosecution's argument. Clearly, Mr. Enigmar. Shot something else too? Looking at this photo, another possibility occurs to me.
Yes?
What does the letter tell us? That the defendant had a reason he couldn't refuse his teacher's wishes? Bingo, pal! That's why the defendant popped him in one in the forehead.
Oh, the defense disagrees. You see, the defendant had another choice he could make.
Objection!
What? And you can prove that with this photo?
Apparently I can. I can prove he had a choice, yes.
The defendant might have fired like he was ordered, but he didn't shoot the victim's forehead. Well, let's hear what you're thinking, Mr. Wright. If he didn't shoot the victim's forehead, what did the defendant shoot?
I mean, are we really gonna say it's the fucking stupid clown? Is that really what I'm about to say right now? There's not really another place that looks like there's a bullet hole or anything. But okay, let's go with that.
The clown doll?
Take a closer look. See? Been shot in the forehead, too. Maybe it was Mo Curls. Oh my god, fucking Mo Curls. God. Man, why does Mo deserve to be shot? Just because he's an annoying clown? You don't like clowns? Clown hater?
Oh, there's a hole in its forehead.
Yeah, I noticed. Yes, and a hole in the prosecution's claim.
Huh, and I suppose you have a reason as to why he'd shoot the clown doll.
He didn't just shoot the doll, he shot the doll's forehead.
His forehead?
Let's read the orders once more, shall we? You will shoot one shot square in the forehead. Which is exactly what he did. He shot the clown doll square in the forehead. Wow, this is already a clown show.
The defense has raised an intriguing possibility. That hole in the clown's forehead. It definitely looks like it was shot. Bailiff, send someone to investigate this matter.
Objection!
I admit I'm impressed, but I'm expecting nothing less. Still, this doesn't mean he didn't shoot the victim.
Bitch, please. Perhaps he did have to shoot a forehead as ordered. But the letter says nothing about whose forehead. This was the only way he had to follow his orders without taking a life.
The bullet hole in the clown doll's forehead does demand an explanation. It might very well be a clue, yet Prosecutor Gavin is right. It alone does not prove the defendant's innocence. You cannot say for sure the defendant didn't shoot the victim. So sorry, Mr. Wright. How sad it is to see the mighty fall.
How sad it is to see the novice's overconfidence. He doesn't realize just how big this little hole is going to get. Bitch.
Detective Gumshoe, please take this newfound fact into account as you continue your testimony.
So what if he shot the clown? He still shot the victim, pal. We'll see about that. So let me get this straight. You're saying my client first shot the clown, then shot the victim. Hey, not a bad summary, pal. More of a confirmation than a summary, but whatever.
That was really more of a confirmation than a summary. But our defense attorney seems pleased enough with himself.
Do these people ever miss a chance to mock me?
Well, now that Mr. Wright's gotten that out of his system, shall we continue with the testimony?
I didn't have time to gather all the details before coming in here. This testimony might be my only source of information. Better pay attention and read this letter carefully. Yup. That's what I was about to do, actually. I was going to re-look over my evidence because I haven't gotten a chance to really do that yet. So we have an attorney's badge, which is really important. We should look at it. Each attorney's badge has a number engraved on the back. No two numbers are the same. So if you drop it, people will know it was you. Better make sure I don't lose mine. That's pretty much exactly what Apollo said. Alright, so here's the photo of the crime scene. Just taking a look. Just taking a look. Anything sus about this? I'm not exactly sure. Here's the autopsy. Loss of blood from a bullet wound is how he died. There was also a malignant tumor in his liver. Okay. Here's the mysterious paper we got from Trucy earlier. It seems Fate's clock will make me wait a little longer. At least only less than 10 swift minutes remain. To all those who are supporting my life's work, I give thanks. Farewell. This might be a real letter, but we'll see. Depends on the handwriting. Which honestly looks similar, but not exact. Right? It looks similar, but not exact. Anyway, patient's name, Matthew Gregory. Malignant tumor in liver was progressed to a final stage with the recovery. Patient has 3 months to live. Patient has chronic diabetes requiring regular insulin. Okay. And this is his insulin plunger that everyone loves. I always hated getting shots. I guess Magnify was giving himself the insulin shots. There's no way I could do that. Ugh. Wait. If Magnify used this to inject his insulin, why are there no traces of having been used? Something to keep in mind. So it's unused, huh? It's an unused syringe. Yeah, has been washed and shows no signs of use. Alright, and then here's the letter, the one that they want me to analyze. To my beloved student, Zach. To you I entrust the task of lowering my life's curtain. Come on the 13th, 11:05 p.m. I will ready a gun with which you will shoot 1 shot square in the forehead. You cannot refuse, and we both know the reason why. 1 shot. Do not miss your chance to blow, because we didn't fire 2 shots, yo. The bullet was fired from the pistol found at the scene, no doubt about it, pal. And the pistol definitely belonged to the old man, sure. I don't think I actually pressed on these. I'm going to press on them real quick. You mean this pistol? The one in the crime scene photo? That's the one, pal. It's a funny-looking gun, so there's no mistaking it.
We compared the bullet taken from the victim's skull with the bullet fired from this gun. The rifling marks on the bullets were a perfect match.
So you verified the murder weapon, in other words? You bet we did, pal. Okay. Let's press on that. Why are you so certain? What pile of sand has your head been stuck in all this time, pal? You never heard of Zack and Valen's quick draw shoot 'em? Huh. What's that? One of the defendant's specialties. Jack and Valent stand on either side of a girl, and then they shoot. But the bullets don't hit her. Instead, they hit everything else on the stage. This is one of the pistols they use in their show. Got a great design, huh? The kids love it.
Many boys and girls join the police because of that pistol, I hear.
You know, that would explain a lot about the police force. Troop Gramarye stopped doing the act a while ago, too. The old man held on to that pistol ever since.
The court would like to see the pistol in question.
You got it, sir. Here it is. Here she is.
Well, this truly is a blast from the past.
It's a stage pistol for magic shows, see? But it can fire real bullets.
It looks so much bigger in real life than on TV.
Yeah, but it can only hold one round, sir. By the way, the pistol's firing chamber's empty. And it shows traces of having been fired recently.
So, were there any fingerprints found on the gun? Unfortunately, no. Of course, the defendant is known for wearing gloves. We might say that a lack of fingerprints is, in fact, a fingerprint of its own. Aha! Intriguing point. Well made.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Not well made. Not intriguing.
In any case, the court accepts this as evidence. Here we go.
I was wondering if we were going to get the gun. Dude. Right there in the description. It already tells me another contradiction.
My grandchild would get a kick out of seeing this. But now it's time to return to our testimony.
So what if he shot the clown? He still shot the victim, pal. So let's look at the item in question real quick that we just got. The gun. There was no fingerprints on it. It only fires one bullet. It only fires one bullet. Someone had to have reloaded the bullet to shoot another bullet. Just saying. If you look closely, you can see how the pistol's made to bend here. It's a one-shot only model, and I guess this bend is where you load it. So, this is the famous Gramarye Golden Gun. They say kids used to love pretending they had one of these. I wonder if they pretended to miss their targets, too. Pretended? Alright, well... Do I just throw this at? I might just present it on this one. Yeah. 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 Objection! The trickiest cases often seem the simplest. Prosecutor Gavin, you missed the bullet hole in the clown's forehead. If you hadn't missed that, you might have come to a very different conclusion. Understand? Yeah, but like I just said, pal. After he shot the clown in the forehead, he went and... Objection! Did nothing of the sort to the victim. The pistol proves he could not.
The murder weapon? How?
It's quite simple, Your Honor. This pistol only holds one bullet at a time. Ah! If he had shot the clown in the forehead, he couldn't have shot the victim too! I love this classic music. It's good shit. Yeah!
That's not a contradiction, not even close. All he had to do was reload the pistol after the first shot.
Oh, and where did he get the extra bullet? They're not so easy to come by, you know. If you claim the defendant had one ready, then prove to us how he got it.
I had a feeling this wasn't over yet. No, this party's just getting started. And I haven't proven anything yet beyond my good looks and startling record sales.
An utter lack of humility.
Ah, what's this? It seems that the prosecution has another witness prepared.
Like I said, Air Detective,
Like I said, Air Detective was just a warm-up act.
Ugh.
Now that the audience has gotten a taste of what's to come, they're ready.
Ready for what?
For my decisive witness, of course. A witness who, you will find, can prove one thing for us. That it was Zack Gramarye who shot the victim in the forehead.
We'll see about that, bitch.
Very well. We will pause for a 15-minute recess.
This might be my lucky break. I'll need that 15 minutes to talk to my client, Zack.
Court is adjourned.
All right, so round 1 goes to us, I guess. We didn't lose yet. But I have a feeling this is all going to make us lose in the end somehow. I will say, I was a little... I know it hasn't really been brought up as a point yet, but they keep showing the picture of the Gramarye troop, which has Zack on one side, Trucy's dad, and it has Valen on the other. But who's the girl in the middle? Who the fuck's the girl in the middle? I feel like she's going to be important at some point. Just maybe not yet. You'll need to go ahead and watch that whole thing back? Yeah, you will. Yeah, you will, DJ. Yeah, you will. But alright. Let me take a sip of this water, and we'll go for round 2, I guess. Maybe she's the mom, as in, like, Trucy's mom. She definitely looks like she could be, but where is she at? If Trucy is with Phoenix now, why is she with Phoenix and not her mom? That's the real question. April 19th, 11:21 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2.
Very impressive, Mr. Wright, I have to say. I expected nothing less.
We've only just begun. I was hoping you could tell me a bit more about what happened, actually.
I did not think you would believe me if I told you. Better that you discover the truth for yourself. I was thinking of you, you know.
I think we need less thinking and more talking. That night in the hospital, what really happened?
Ah, the way your eyes gleam, Mr. Wright. You'll scare Trucy.
Speaking of which, where is she?
You have seen the problem yourself, the letter.
The one shot in the forehead one, right?
Yes, and the reason he speaks of. I could not deny my mentor's wishes, even if it meant my own death.
Why not?
This is something I will not say, for now at least.
What's this for now business?
I have done many things in my life, some well, some poorly. But this is a cross we must bear alone to our graves.
We?
You want to know about the night of the incident?
Finally, this guy sure likes to take his time getting to the important stuff.
Of course, I had no intention of shooting my mentor. I snuck into his room that night at the appointed time. And found there upon his bedside table 2 pistols.
Oh? 2?
Yes, the one I had used on stage, and the one that had been used by my partner, Valent.
Oh, for the Zack and Valent's quick draw thing. Interesting.
My mentor had the look of one sleeping. I stood by his bedside, hearing only the light sound of his breathing. Then I took the pistol into my hand. I cannot deny that my resolve faltered then, for a moment.
You faltered? You mean you thought about shooting him?
Recall, there was a reason I could not refuse his request. His last such request, though not his first.
So, there were other requests you couldn't refuse before?
To be honest, I've not always been steadfast, and I fear I've brought pain upon Trucy.
Was Magnifi coercing his disciples somehow? Just what was going on in Troop Gramarye?
Yet, in the end, I did not shoot him. Instead, I turned and shot the clown. I took the pistol I had fired and placed it in my pocket.
In your pocket?
I believe if you examine the bullet in the clown's head, you will find it to be different than the one in my mentor. What were those called?
Rifling marks?
Yes. Well, that is all I have to tell you concerning the case.
Concerning the case? You mean there's something else you can tell me?
Ha 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 ha! You are a fascinating man, Mr. Wright.
Thanks?
Yes, there is something. My mentor, his eyes opened.
What? Magnifi Gramarye?
The old devil. He was not asleep, you see. Of course, the gunshot would have woken him anyway. And there we had our last discussion as mentor and pupil. It was not a long discussion, maybe 5-10 minutes or so.
What did you talk about?
Ha ha ha! Mr. Wright, did I not just tell you? It does not concern this case.
Zack Gramarye, he seems pretty steadfast to me, or maybe just stubborn. Mr. Wright, your presence is requested in the courtroom.
Once again, I am in your hands.
Right. Let's get back in there. Ooh, boy.